Hello everyone, welcome back for another video here on my YouTube channel. This is Cassie. Today we're going to be playing with the retro television. I told you I had a video and I was excited to share it with you and keep an eye out because I do have one for the twin camera as well. So I'm going to show you on the website, if you go there, go to the retro television. You'll see down at the bottom it says click here to view instructions. Go there, get these, print them out. It's not only going to give you all the instructions on how to put it together because I'm a visual learner. It's also going to tell you exactly how many pieces you will need from each piece to go ahead and cut out. So I've gone ahead and done that. I have mine all cut out and ready to go. And to start off, I am going to take these two panels. These are the back and front panels for the television, and I'm going to glue these together. I'm gluing two together and then another two together. This way I have a little bit sturdier base. This is for the front and the back. And that's going to be the top part of your television. And then you're going to go ahead and have four of these bottom pieces as well. And you're going to glue two together here. And then you're going to glue another two together. And then we're going to eventually put these together. We're going to stick them next to each other. And we're going to have this very nice, sturdy front and back for our television. I have four of these tiny pieces, and we're going to use two on each side. We're going to do it on the inside of the television, so flip over the part that doesn't have all of the embossing on it, because with these die cuts, there is going to be an embossed edge on a few of them. And so you'll be able to tell which is the front and which is the back. And then you can just kind of glue these parts together. I used liquid glue, but double-sided tape would probably work really well. You're not going to overlap them. You're just going to stick them next to each other. That's all you're going to do is butt them up against each other and then use these two pieces to hold them together. And once I've got all those pieces on there, I am going to flip this over, and you'll notice I have a couple of gold strips. This is where we start to kind of do a little bit of the polishing up, adding the little details. So I cut mine out of gold, and so this is going to be the back. This one will be the front. I guess it really doesn't matter. They're both basically the same. But this is what is going to be on the outside of your little retro television. And again, liquid glue works fine. You could also use double-sided tape. I just use liquid glue. I feel so much more confident, especially when I'm making something like this that will get manhandled a little bit. Now you're going to have these pieces. They do have a perforation. I suppose you probably could tear them, but I wanted a nice clean cut, so I'm cutting two of them apart. You need to do that. You're going to have 6 of these pieces, and you'll need to cut 2 of them apart completely, because you'll need 4 that are folded in half at the bottom, and you'll need 4 that had been cut up, well, 2 cut apart to give you 4 pieces for the top. And for the rest of these, I'm just going to fold them in half, and that will be for our bottom. And we'll talk about that when we get to it. But for those 2 that I had cut apart, and I have 4 pieces now I need 4 of these pieces that have the little slits in them. And they have some embossed edge. You're going to go ahead and fold those over on all 4 of them. You'll need 2 for the top and 2 for the bottom. And I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to start assembling. So I'm going to take those ones that I cut apart and I'm just going to slip those in there. So all 4 of those that came from just those 2 pieces will get slipped into a couple of these. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I get done putting them all together. And it does fit fairly snugly, so that's pretty nice. So you don't have to worry about it falling apart. And then once those are all in there, this is what that top one's going to look like. This is the top one. That uses the ones that were cut apart. Okay. There's another little thing about this. There's an embossed edge on the front. You're going to line up these notches that I'm putting glue on with the embossed edge on the front. That is how you'll know that you're putting it in the right spot. There's a couple of little embossed edges that'll fit nicely on there, and you can see those. It's just a way of placement. That way, for the rest of your little pieces that go on the inside, they'll fit nicely in there, and they've done all the legwork for you, really, for that. All the measuring, all the things. And so I'm just attaching these to the back side of the television. I'm not messing with the front side of the television yet, just the back. So I've got that top one is all connected. And again, those were the ones that were cut apart. Now these are the ones that are folded in half, and they're going to look like a little V. And you're going to want to put them in there all the same way, because when they're folded in half, they're going to act like a little pocket for the slide in and out pieces, your little white pieces where you could put like a picture or a sentiment or whatever you want to do. So I put all 4 of those in there. And again, you want those are going to be facing to the top of your television. And I'm going to glue those down. There's another notch for where these are going to kind of set in there, or not maybe set in there, but to make it a little easier to line up. And I'll just do that on both sides for the back of our television. And they're both on there now, so we're going to let that dry, and then we can start working on assembling the front of our television. So this is that gold panel, and I'm going to use liquid glue all around the edges of it. And these are those notches. They're the same sort of, sorry about all the noise. My cat is jumping around, making all kinds of noise. These were the same things that we used to assemble the television. And I went ahead and just colored these with some alcohol markers to make them the colors that I wanted. You could cut them out of colored cardstock if you wanted, but I tried to just make it easy on myself. And so I'm assembling these all on the back, so that way when you flip it over, you get that look of like the static that we used to see when we were kids on that console television if you turned it to the wrong channel. And then now all of these little pieces are easy to assemble. I'm just going to put some little dots of glue here and there, assemble our knobs. So there's some bigger knobs, there's some smaller knobs, and it can be, I don't want to say tedious, that's not really it. It looks like a lot, but they go together pretty easily. I'm just using my pickup stick along with the little tool on it just to make sure that things are in place. And I cut all of these out using that gold cardstock. And then we'll attach down our knobs on these bigger ones, and this smaller one is like that little dial. I never quite knew what that was for, to be honest with you. But then again, I really wasn't allowed to touch the TV, so anyway. So those go on there, and then we have our other little pieces. Miles is going to come in and do some quality control. And if you hear his bell in the background, I apologize. He is galloping through the house. But we're just going to finish up on all the assembly of all these pieces, and then we can start making that front panel for our television. So here's the side panel, and it's pretty self-explanatory on how to put those on there, especially if you go to the website, like I said, and you print out the little PDF. I printed mine out and I stuck it with the die, so that way I'll never have a question like, I might pull this out 2 months from now or whatever and forget how to put it together. But with that PDF, I won't forget. And I won't forget how many pieces I need either, because it's all right there. Little dots of glue for the rest of these little knobs. So many knobs, and I could not tell you what they were all for. But they did look kind of crazy. All right, there's the side panel. Now we've got this piece. This is the smaller piece that's going to hold both the screen for the television and that side console part. So I'm just going to attach those down with some liquid glue. Sorry about Miles being in the way. He's always got to be in the mix. Purring, getting all the pets. That's what he does. Then we'll put down the screen part. And then we can attach this to the front of our television. Once that's attached to the front, we've got the rest of those little pieces that can get attached as well. It's those little details really that do end up making it. But obviously, if you don't want to include it all, you don't have to. Make it however you want. Make it whatever color you want as well. I went traditional with the console TVs. This one definitely reminds me of one that was in my grandparents' home. But I know that on the website they used silver cardstock. And I have seen plenty of people make these televisions different colors too. How fun is that? I would love to do like a little retro teal one or a retro red one or something like that. Even though they didn't have those back then, that would have been cool to have. I'd have been all over that. Now I'll put the little feet on our television, and then I'll do it on my back piece as well, because we have feet for those. And then the last little bits are the antenna. And I'll tell you what, when I put the antenna together, I didn't put the sticks of the antenna down far enough. I will fix that. That's the beauty of using some liquid glue. But now I'm going to attach down the front of our television to those notches using that liquid glue. Just hold it there for a few seconds. Do it on the other side as well. But this is so cool. I know it can sort of seem intimidating. There's a lot of dies, a lot of pieces. That's where that PDF comes in super handy. And seeing somebody put it together also helps as well. I didn't get to see anybody do it, but I definitely took advantage of that PDF. And now you can put those little pieces inside those V notches at the bottom, and they'll just sit right in there. And then this, I'll realize here, I had those antennae up a little too high, and this is where I fix it. But it will fit beautifully inside of a 5x7 envelope. Now, I would suggest that maybe you send it in a padded envelope just to make sure that nothing happens after the amount of work that you've put in to putting this TV together. The last thing you want is for it to fall apart or get ripped up in the mail. So I definitely suggest like a padded envelope or something like that. But it goes fairly flat, and you can send this off just like so. And I love how it turned out. So like I said, I am going to have one for the vintage twin camera. So keep an eye out for that. If you like this video, hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And as always, big thanks for all you do. And I will see you soon in another video. Bye, everybody.